Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms. Man, I'm kind of liking this radio from Choyong. I'm going to show it off to you tonight. I kind of thought it was a Bluetooth speaker and an aux player and stuff like that, but I didn't realize that it also was an internet radio. So it's a real treat to play with this thing. Probably going to be the radio that now sits on my headboard. Move the LC90 over and let this thing be here. So cool. Comes in a nice case like so. I'll go ahead and get that out of the way for right now. And it does come with a power cord to recharge this thing by, but it is also battery powered, so that's kind of cool. Let's take a look. Like a brushed bronze look to it. Choyong proudly displayed on the front. And then there's a little scribe underneath in cursive that said, "Discover the world's most beautiful sounds." Now I'm looking at the unit itself. It's covered in what I feel like is leather, but can't be. It's got to be like leatherette. But it's like a soft textured feel, and it really looks good. I just like the look of it. Bottom's covered as well, and it does have 4 rubber feet or plasticky feet to hold on to that. Up top, also in like a brushed bronze look, we have our buttons and knobs here. And this is where this thing gets really cool. Like, how do you operate internet radio? Do you need an app? All that junk. I don't want to mess with any of that stuff, so I'm so happy to report that you don't need to. Volume and on. Bass and treble, and it's just incredible. And then like you can control Bluetooth stuff from that button there. But the main knob here, this is actually a screen. And of course I'll get the camera closer in so we can see that, but it's incredible that it has all these features and it's touch screen, and it's just really neat. In the back, and I love this, a really good quality speaker from what I understand from them, but also like a bass subwoofer type venting on the back there, which is cool. On-off switch, place for our conventional plug, USB-C port as well, and then we have RCA in. So you can use this beautiful radio as a Bluetooth speaker, as an internet radio, or to power, not to power, but to play older stuff like cassette decks, CD decks, or CD players, and record players will all play through this as well. And I have one in the other room there. I have a little record player. The speakers built in are pretty weak. This would be a great upgrade for that. What I'm gonna do is get the camera closer in on this thing, and I'm gonna show you the top down. I've already got this one set up on Wi-Fi for internet radio stuff, but I'll go through some of the features and functions. It's got voice command. I mean, this has a lot of the LC90, which is Choyong. It's like their premier product, and I love them. They've done some updates over the years that have made that such a great radio. But this one here takes the internet side of that, puts it in a very, very attractive case, if you ask me, and then gives that to us as the consumer. Let's get the camera closer and we'll take a look. Well, here we go. And up top here you can see, and I'm going to tilt this forward like so, but just to show you how it sits there. Bass, but it's also a push button. Treble, also a push button. OK / let's move this forward or back, plus a push button. Volume on and off, plus a push button, and then the main screen is here. And it's a touch screen, it's really cool. On the back of this, there's our on-off button there. We'll go ahead and power this thing up. And we'll give it a second to boot up. I'm gonna get something to prop underneath here so you can see it better. There we go. All right, take a look. So it says waiting for connection, and you can see the startup screen and everything as we go through here. Love it. So when we're not doing anything, we have a nice clock feature. And then of course there's push buttons. There's also C, and then we get into here. So we can roll the dial here. We have settings, which is where you go to, we'll go in there right now. You can put a data SIM card, so you can use this anywhere. I have mine in Wi-Fi mode. We can change the backlighting. Playback time limit. You can change that so it shuts off. I'm leaving it on the off position. Version information. 9.26.25, brand new. And you can check for updates by going out on the web here. No updates available right now. I mean, this is a brand new thing. And restore factory settings, right? So we'll get back out of that. But we have the ability to we can go into podcasts here. I mean, just so many of them too. Let's take a look at automotive, right? And I hope y'all are able to see what I'm doing here. So it's just going to bring you up to all the automotive podcastings. Let's try one. It'll load, hopefully.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure.
There's your volume.
Thumbtack knows home, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin.
Change our bass.
Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is. With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates.
And to move through the podcast to the next podcast, right? So we can go episode to episode. Pretty cool. So I have to be careful, obviously, with copyright. I don't want to violate somebody's stuff here, but we'll go ahead and turn that down for right now. But you can see the podcast function there, right? So let's go ahead and we can just back out. See the C here. And we can get into, we'll get out of podcast, but we have play history. We can add our favorites. I'll show you how to do that. And then we can search by country. So let's take a look at North America, and we'll take a look at North Carolina and see if we see any stations that are familiar. So the aggregate here, whatever you want to call this, is going to give us state-by-state listings. Not every radio station in America is on here, obviously, but I do think it's really cool that you can roll through and see some stations. Like, I've lived all over the country, so it's cool to be able to go back and listen to some stations. In fact, one of my favorite ones just went off the air or switched formats, and that's kind of been sad. So here's North Carolina. We'll see here what we find. Anything that's familiar. WRAL News right there. I play that for a few seconds. There it is, and you can see the scroll of the station. Pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, let me turn that back down. We'll get back out of there. Okay, let's see what else we can get into here. So we also, I guess I should go through that. So by pressing the back button here, now we've switched to aux in. That would be our RCA in. Press it again, and it goes to Bluetooth if I want to connect a phone or another object to it. And then we're back to radio. So that's how easy it is to get through all of that. Let me go ahead and let's get into, let's get out of this. We're going to get out of this and go back into our basic thing. We should search for some stuff is what I want to do. So we'll go up. And at the very top, we have our search button, right? So search, press the A1 key to search stations or A2 key to search podcasts. Coast to Coast Radio. Right, and we have all kinds of radio stations. This is not Coast to Coast, the podcast, but we have all kinds of stations that use coast in it. So you can see how easily that works. I'm a little hesitant to open any of these ups because of copyright, but we'll try it just for a second and see what we come up with. Right? So, I mean, this is really awesome. All right, let's get out of that. And let's see what we got here. We'll go into search again, and we'll voice press for a podcast. Joe Rogan. I honestly don't know a lot of podcast names other than my own, so I'm going with the only one I could think of off the top of my head. But it looks like it found the Joe Rogan Experience right there. And again, I don't want to do copyright violations, but we'll load it just for a second to show you how easy that is.
We're talking about Reflection AI, which has just raised $2 billion.
So there it is. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
But they have a very
We'll get out of that real quick. So look, man, this is, I don't know, maybe not one of my longest videos. Also probably not one of my shortest videos either. I just wanted to point this thing out on the market. I got it. It's fresh off the presses, so to speak. And man, I'm telling you, this thing is beautiful. It weighs a lot. Like, it is a heavy piece of machinery. Good quality speaker from playing the music off, off camera. I can't do that here, but I have been playing with this thing for a few days now. I love big band swing music and old jazz music and stuff like that. It's found a bunch of stations on here. Same station list as the LC90. So if you're familiar with Choyong, A8W and the LC90, same aggregate, same stuff. You can set up an account. You can save stations and add stations. If there's a station on there that you don't have that's on the internet, there's a place to enter that stuff in to add those channels. This, as far as internet radio goes, when I first brought out a video on the LC90, everyone was just absolutely hating on me about it. Now, I couldn't figure it out why. We love the radio. Well, I think internet radio is radio. I've been broadcasting for 20 years on my little internet radio station, so I consider it to be radio. This thing will find you, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of 50,000 stations and podcasts. So I think you can find something to listen to on it. But more than that, it's just a beautiful piece of equipment. I mean, it's just nice. It's just nice. Anyway, I'll leave a link to where you can get one of these things, and I will see you next time. Take care.